And that's for the piggies in every US city thinking a seat in the back row is Porsche because of European history. They miss seeing the monocle though, so I be in the front row on days I am making dough. All alone, in the zone, on the phone, until the trailers go off the screen, along with all those production companies that never did a thing for me.
First off, Ari Aster needs to put some respect on Zachary K. Hubbard's name for blatantly using his Gematria podcast tag to inspire one of the early scenes in Eddington while Emma Stone's character is perusing the internet. The internet and humanity's relationship to it has become nearly inseparable since the early 2020s, thanks to COVID. Aster's film is a late after-the-fact satire about the insanity of the COVID era that the majority of U.S. citizens buckled to and showed how yellow their bellies were to the U.S. government, which in retrospect the so-called founding fathers would be rolling over in their graves about if they could see how cowardly U.S. citizens are in the face of the threat of rescinded comforts. On top of this, there's a huge subplot as to how race relations get weaponized by US Euros to push their own personal agendas, hijacking black pain that they are the root cause of to further their own benefits. Never has the sentiment rang more true as earlier this year when the Trump administration repealed DEI, something that primarily US Euro females were able to take advantage of to further their careers, but the poster children for this, of course, was the US Negroid. As any Aster film, Eddington is messy, as Aster spins a tale of a sheriff who believes himself above the law and imposes himself so as to make a run for mayor. Problem is, at home, he's no hero, and his city knows this. His wife is a slut, a complete lost soul who turns to conspiracy, religious zealotry, and eventually one-upping that zealotry to a full-blown cult membership just to get through the COVID era. Emma Stone's portrayal of this woman can be easily seen in many modern women in Western society today. Selfish sluts who abscond their youth for fast sex and when they hit the wall, marry a pookie, get pregnant, and live in their mom's house like a little girl. Except given the events in this film, all that happens, but not in consecutive order. Phoenix is great as that loser pookie husband, but unconvincing as a tough law enforcer. This dichotomy is possibly why Aster decided to work with him again. The lengths he goes to maintain his candidacy for mayor is so shocking and unbelievable that only someone as unconvincing as Phoenix could deliver that surprise. Of course, you got the strange mother-in-law dynamic with the same woman that played Phoenix's mother in Beau is Afraid, Deirdre O'Connell. That woman is just noise, like an actual mother-in-law. And then there's also a pointed piece of the film that comments on police sexually abusing underage females. Another point about police who are open racist, also being allowed to utilize a badge. Actually, Eddington is the ultimate anti-Blue Lives Matter film, showing what could go wrong when society's protectors go on a power trip. I like the social commentary also on big tech companies polluting small towns and how U.S. citizens truly don't care about what happens to their neighbors. The further the distance the shitstorm is away from the doorstep, the better, is the U.S.'s motto, not the preamble. What happens when protest, violence, and injustice come to your street is the question Aster demands an answer to through Eddington. And though the runtime is a little lengthy to where the threat to shut one's eyes can be taken towards the end, I believe Aster found what he was looking for in his latest social experiment picture, this time through the land of enchantment.
Pop your popcorn. That's for the piggies in every US city thinking a seat in the back row is Porsche because of European history. They miss seeing the monocle though, so I be in the front row on days I am making dough. All alone, in the zone, on the phone, until the trailers go off the screen, along with all those production companies that never did a thing for me.